pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment? Anybody got public comment?
The clock.
The clock.
Oh, it's wrong.
Oh, it's not.
It's on.
8 o'clock.
Oh, meeting over.
Motion to adjourn.
It's daylight savings time.
All right, so approval of the November 5th, 2025 meeting minutes. Lisa,
I make a motion to approve the Board of Supervisors meeting minutes from November 5th, 2025.
I read them and I'll second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Treasurer's report, bills to be paid.
All right, for the treasurer's report for this month, we're about 10 months out of the year through it, and so far our revenue collection is at 90.89%, so just on just about where that should be year to date. And currently our expenditures are slightly under budget. We're at 68.4% for our expenditures. One of the reasons that is lower than you would anticipate this far into the year is that we had in the budget, budgeted for the replacement of the backhoe, pending award or determination with the grant that was awarded. We haven't heard about the grant yet, so there is a possibility that we could expend that money for the backhoe if there is no grant award. The PA passed a budget this morning. So there is a chance that we will probably hear about that grant before the end of the year, if we need to take action of that, and if we do well and get the grant awarded, then we won't be expending that money. But that's one of the reasons for that, kind of large, difference there from what you would expect this point in the year. In terms of the bills list, the bills list this month is a pretty straightforward and regular bills list. We have one minor project that is included in this bills list, which is just a little bit over $29,000. That's part of a settlement agreement, and that was to do that work. So the total bills list this month is $127,887.28. And I would ask the board for a motion to approve the bills list.
I make a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $127,887.28.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye as well.
All right, the first report we have out here is the PA State Police report. We had approximately 30 calls for service in the township over the last month. Most of those calls are routine. The call list is out in the hallway if you're interested. It's mostly just traffic accidents and a couple check on the welfare. It's not very interesting. Plymouth Ambulance, anyone here from Plymouth Ambulance? Our Plymouth Ambulance had a relatively straightforward report, nothing new to report there. It was kind of standard business for them as well.
Can I ask a question about the ambulance? Pottstown Hospital is basically becoming a glorified urgent care. And I don't know if you guys want to talk to the ambulance people or what. I wonder what they're going to do. Because you take people to Pottstown, especially the people that live at Frederick, and I know that's most of their calls, and I used to work there. So if they're going to continue to take them to Frederick, they are Pottstown, they are immediately transferred out. So I'm just curious as far, I know you can't answer it, but are they going to continue that practice of taking everybody to Pottstown? Because they're not keeping people. Just two examples. I had a relative fell, broke a hip, took him over there, and they're not doing hip surgeries, they sent him to Reading. I had a sister-in-law, had a problem, she went to Pottstown, sent her to Reading. So, just so everybody's kind of aware that Pottstown's gonna be a glorified urgent care.
And you do have your choice of what hospital to go to.
Not really.
Most of the time.
Not really.
Because, well, I always choose to go to Phoenixville, only because my wife
Yeah,
works
well,
there.
Phoenixville's next on the list too, but
You have
basically,
Grandview's and
we're going
Grandview
to
Trauma
have
Center.
nothing in this area that will have an ICU, anything beyond, Pottstown's not gonna have an ICU.
Gotta clear
Pottstown's,
it.
Pottstown's not gonna be doing surgeries anymore.
No cancer.
So I'm just curious what the ambulance is considering on that, especially with the people in Frederick. Because when they usually go out for falls, why don't we take them to a hospital who can address the whole thing?
In other words, don't take them to Pottstown, leave it, drop them off there, and then have to wait for transport to go from Pottstown to someplace else. Like, why not take them to that someplace else? As soon as the ambulance crew knows that they're not going to be able to have a special department
Yeah.
taking care of them.
And I know
at
it just
Pottstown
happened,
Hospital.
but I'm just curious what their outlook is gonna be going forward. If you
Do
can
you have
address
somebody
it.
in Frederick
because of
living
the-
by chance?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have somebody in Frederick living by chance?
No, I worked there for 15 years.
Okay. Maybe their directors have got something in mind. What
I
they're
can
gonna
ask
tell them.
Mike if he knows.
That's what I was gonna say. can
But I
ask
know it
Mike when
just
I talk.
happened, and I'm just curious.
Yeah, I could reach out to Plymouth too and ask them as
Yeah.
well. I'll get back to you on that, and let you
Yeah,
know what their
well,
plan
less
is.
of a question and more of a concern that
It is.
everybody will want to have questions about eventually.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Great, thanks.
They might have a
Yeah, thanks
service,
for bringing it up.
I'm sorry, what?
they might have a service agreement with Plymouth, some of the hospitals do that, or Frederick might even have a service agreement too, so.
Yeah, I can
Something
reach
to
out
look
to Mike.
into.
All right, next up, we have the fire company report.
All right, for people who don't know me, my name's Doug Kenna, I'm fire chief here at the township. Just going to give you a rundown of just the call report. We had 14 calls for the month. We had a total of 152 calls for the year. Volunteer hours for the month of October, we had 487.75, and that was because of all the fire prevention programs that we went to and the different, helping out other fire companies with their fire prevention and to go into the school to talk to the kids and all that stuff. So that's why it's higher than normal. Just some things that are coming up. On 12/6, we're having a Santa breakfast right here at St. Luke's Church, so we'll have Santa Claus there. And then 12/12, we're gonna have wreath making at the firehouse. It's somewhat of a fundraiser. It's pretty neat. Get together with the yachts and we make wreaths and stuff like that. It's a pretty nice time. The girls seem to have a lot of fun at it. And then on 12/13, the fire company does a toy run. We right now we've got the boxes out. We're collecting toys. We go to St. Christopher's and Bryn Mawr Hospital. We deliver toys for all the kids. So we do that in conjunction with Plymouth Ambulance. They run the show. A lot of the fire companies in the area all go to that. And then on 12/20, we're going to have the Santa run in the township. It's on Saturday. It's pretty close to Christmas, so we're going to do it. Rain date will be Sunday. Just a few other things that happened at the firehouse this month. We were very fortunate. Tom Trajanski, Chief 308, who runs with the ambulance, he came across with 3 AEDs for the firehouse. We'll keep one in the firehouse and one on each trucks. I mean, it's $10,000 worth of AEDs, which Plymouth Ambulance donated to the firehouse, which I thought was very nice. And then also Expo Copy, which is in Limerick, Jim Giannetti, he owns that. He donated a printer to the firehouse, so now we have a real nice looking printer. It's really nice. He was very cordial in donating that to the firehouse. And the other thing, which is I'm pretty proud of, we had one kid today pass his national certification for EMT, and that's Jackson Kenna, who's my grandson.
All right, next up we have the fire marshal's report. Over the last month, I've been working with the fire marshal, getting for the Limerick drills. We've made sure to update our notification list and our emergency operation plan. We've also made sure that we are registered in all the systems we need to be to get all of the proper things with the power plant itself. We've also been working with them to also do some of the PMCS, basically the annual maintenance on some of the sirens. So some folks, about a week and a half ago would have heard maybe a 5 or 10 second little blurb. That's what that was. But he's been doing good work for us, and I'm proud of the work Nate's doing.
Absolutely. Good guy.
Next, we have the water sewer plant report. Matt?
Excuse me. Ivy Ridge is doing real well. And Perkiomen Crossing, both plants are doing well there. Been running well too. That hasn't been overflowing up there, so.
Do we get that communication air fixed?
No, not yet. I've been waiting for the electrician. I might just go get the part and,
Yeah, whatever we,
and,
that's okay if we need to go get the part to make sure that's working correctly, because that'll make your job a little bit easier and
Yeah.
ensure proper operation of well 2 over there.
yeah, it loses its signal every once in a while, and then I just reboot communication and it works for a while. But it's obsolete, so can't just buy one module, try to buy the whole thing.
Right.
That's it.
All right, thanks, man.
Public Works.
Public Works did some base repair, road maintenance on Houck and Heimbach Creek Lane. Finished up some road mowing, and some road repairs, and, fixing some drainage areas all around. Did some, inlet repair on Haywood Road, had some problems down there. Under drain stormwater pit, installed at well 2, as Matt was just talking about for Burke Crossing. Did some equipment maintenance, biannual maintenance for the 2018 and our 23 Dodge 5500, and as well as on our Peterbilt. We did replace all the tires on that on the John Deere loader we have. That was a bit of an expense. I wasn't thinking it would be that much for them, but yeah. So those are just hard at work for us.
I'll add also that the Public Works crew did work to plant some shade trees out here around, the playground here at Friendship Park. So we planted 5, hard maples, there. So, when we're all gone, hopefully there'll be some nice natural shade for that playground. That way, some of the slides and things like that don't burn, folks wanting to use the playground. But it looks really nice out there if you go take a look. I'm happy that they did that work. Look forward to seeing them do projects like that as we go forward into 26.
Absolutely. Norm?
Okay. Engineer's report I would have in front of me if I picked it up from my printer when I printed it out, but I neglected to do that, so I don't. But I'll go by memory.
I'll give you mine.
No, let's test my memory. This might not go well, we'll see. So we did update the engineer's report for the month of November. Everybody should have a copy of that. I could certainly answer any questions, but again, going by memory, we've got a couple of really small projects we're looking to get recorded and finished and off the book, albeit Albert's Track and the Dick subdivision, which is a minor lot line change. And then in addition to that, we had Three Dog, kind of gave an update as far as construction goes. At this point, I saw a bunch of trees out there. Looks like they're putting them in at the right time, so they're putting some trees in the ground. That's going along in a relatively slow pace because they got to a point now where they're starting to put a building up. So that's going up one of those. And then lastly, Big Road subdivision should be on there. There was a submission for that. That was reviewed strictly for completeness and against the conditional use that was previously implemented. So we did issue a review letter for that, and that is essentially ongoing. But other than that, I can answer any questions that you might have, but that's all we have that's really noteworthy in the engineer's report.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Zoning, John, you got a report for him, Norm, or do you have something?
I could give an update if you like. That one.
You wrote his report and not
Yeah,
you?
exactly. Because I make sure to go over it with John, because usually I really don't know what's going on, so. So we have basically 3 updates. The first one is 1847 Perkiomenville Road, and the township is working there essentially with regards to electric service. My understanding is township solicitor has tried to be in communication with the applicant's attorney, and I'm not sure a whole lot of success with that, but we're trying, and essentially we've got contact at MedEd after we hear what's going on with that we'd be ready to move forward with pulling the meter if that's the direction that we get from the township. Okay. Next project is 1732 Becker Road. This involves, there was debris that was outside. The property owner has a garage under construction. I don't think the garage door is on, but I think most of the building is up. John has driven by that, is monitoring that, and essentially when that gets done and they ask for a UNO, for us to go out there and check it at that point. When the next question is gonna be, all right, let's get this stuff in there. And so that is ongoing, but it does appear that there's some progress being made out there. And then lastly, 2746 Yost Road was mainly a pop-up game preserve that, you know, we were seeing what was going on with that, and there's some extenuating circumstances there, but John did also visit the site there, and unfortunately, there's no real progress or updates, but we have maintained communication with the property owner, and like I said, there were some extenuating circumstances that we've talked with the township is, I believe, aware of, and we're keeping that, trying to nudge them forward to get that back into compliance.
Have we talked to them since I talked to them and found out about the issue that was there?
Right.
Have we
No,
talked to them since, or?
no,
Because I know I said hit the brakes for right now until
Yeah.
she gets recovered,
Yeah, exactly.
so we
exactly.
haven't talked to her since.
No, John did a
Okay.
drive-by at the time, the woman was outside, just kind of like, you know, walking around and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, but nothing else has
Okay.
developed there.
So I did tell him I would hit the brakes until she
Right.
recovered, so she's out now, she's out walking around. He told me they have bought another piece up in Potter County.
Correct, and was looking to relocate. That's as much as we know at this point
Okay.
as well.
Okay, I'll reach out to him and see if he's ready to start moving.
Is
on.
that the property on Perkiomenville and Deep Creek? Is that what you're talking about? No.
No, this is a used road.
Yost Road.
Yost Road.
Yeah, he started, they had just accumulated a bunch of animals, not realizing, you know, the zoning here. And then by the time we got to him, with the neighbors' complaints, he just had so many animals there that now he's not wanting to get rid of them, he's gonna take them with him, they're gonna sell their place and move up to Potter County, where he can have it. But good family, just ran into some health things, so. Just trying to be.
What about the property on Perkiomenville and Deep Creek Road then, on the corner?
That's Fauna Stone.
Is that the
That's,
first
that
one
was
you
the
mentioned?
one we were just talking about with the solicitor.
1847.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
18, I don't
We're
know the
just-
exact address, it's, yeah.
yeah, we were waiting to hear back, I believe, from her attorney, and just haven't heard back yet, but I believe we hit that deadline, right?
Yeah.
What happens once you hit the deadline?
Miss Vicky?
The, what we had told them that we were gonna do was if they didn't, come into compliance, we were gonna pull the electric meter off the house so that there would be no electricity there anymore, for her to be able to run the extension cord, cause it's a safety hazard. So that's what we're waiting on, but she, in the meantime, had hired an attorney that contacted us, and we were working with him on a schedule of when she was gonna do all of the work there, and then it's gone radio silent again, so.
So that too, going back 4.5 months now, when I talked to her, she told me she too was moving, and she was gonna move to Maine.
Right, we know she has a place up there.
She's been saying that for 5 years.
And it hasn't been that long since we talked to the attorney, it hasn't been 4
No,
months.
it's
It's been
been,
more recent.
yeah, I believe we just talked to him, what, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
So, that's what, we're just waiting on hearing back from him, and at this point, I'm not sure we have to really wait much longer, right?
No, I'm gonna call him tomorrow and just see if I can't get anything. I have a feeling that she may be ghosting everybody, so, not just us.
I just saw her the other day out there in her PJs, her onesie, on the side of the road, and that's, you
I
know,
thought she had left again.
it was cold, and she's out there in a onesie, I'm going, we
So
gotta.
she is still here then?
Oh,
At
she's
night,
here.
she's on the
Okay.
property.
Yeah.
Is it legal to live in a van in Upper Frederick Township?
That's a good question.
No, I don't believe it is.
So do we approach her about anything like that, or do we
We already
just-
did.
And-
That's how we got to the situation we're in, pulling the meter. What she's been doing is, I guess over the last 5 years or however long, she's just been doing that. And as we would cite her, she would go to her place in Maine. And then the time limit resets after 90 days and she'd come back and start the process again.
Yeah.
This time we just took it 3 steps ahead of her, so she couldn't, and that's why she got an attorney involved.
So the
But
police
I don't
can't
believe it's-
escort her off the property or kick her out, change locks?
No, not with the state police. Not with the state police.
Because it's an eyesore, it's disgusting.
It's not a new problem, and you kind of alluded to it, but what has happened in the past is every time we would get to the 24th hour, she would leave and go to her other property and wait till she got in trouble up there, and then she'd come back here, and she knows the system pretty well.
Yeah, she's fairly well versed in the system, unfortunately, so. Paul, you want to speak on behalf of the planning commission? Mr. Marriott's halfway to Montana and Buck doesn't seem to be here.
Sure. I'm Paul Christian from planning, and we've been working on a lot of stuff. Subdivision on Fedleysville Road, conditional use down the street here. Still working with the county on regulations, and we got a bunch of stuff that we're working on old business. I mean, it's just incredible amount of work we're still doing. We got a lot of old business, and we just keep adding stuff to it, so pretty busy.
I appreciate all your hard work, Paul. I do. Slave driver I am, I know. I don't have anything from Central Perk Valley Regional View. I don't believe we met yet, so there's nothing there. Parks and Rec, Miss,
Hi, I'm Tracy. We just started talking about different projects we might want to be doing in the upcoming year, but we haven't set a priority list or anything like that. We did set the date for Community Day for 2026 is the last Saturday of September, and we may do a food fest of sorts, perhaps a rib fest for all you meat eaters. That's it.
all right, new business. What we have up is an approval for an ordinance. This amendment is to our sewage ordinance, and it's to require a replacement site on all future lots being built in Upper Frederick. So essentially, you'll have to have a septic site and then a backup septic site for all future development.
Correct, and this was changed in accordance with the board's wishes, which was that it only be newly created lots. So if a resident had a system that they were replacing, they would not be required to comply with this. It's only new lots and totally new systems.
Correct.
And this was advertised for adoption this evening if you see fit.
What's the current ordinance? I mean, what's the current requirement?
Current requirement is one site,
Just one site?
just one site, yeah. We're just upping that to two, so that way you guys have, in the future, anybody who builds here has a backup to the backup.
Ready? I make a motion to approve ordinance 2512 as recommended by the planning commission.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next up is the approval of the 2026 budget as advertised. It's been out in the foyer here for a little over a month now. It's been discussed at three of our past meetings. So we're looking for a motion to approve that budget.
Before you go to the motion, I'll just want to hit on the high points of the budget again,
Okay.
for everyone who has forgotten since we met and last talked about this. This is a balanced budget across all funds, and there is no tax increase. Those are basically the top line items from this budget. Other than that, it's a pretty tight budget, as you know, we don't have any tax increase and costs are increasing. That's all I have to add.
Appreciate that, Aaron. You did good work on this budget, I appreciate it.
I make a motion to approve the 2026 budget as advertised.
Second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And last is an approval of the compromise agreement between Upper Frederick Township and Mr. Hendricks with the Blantier properties. You want to talk a little bit about that, Ms. Vicki?
If you would like